All right. Hey there, everybody. Mike Klingler here. It's after 5 a.m. in the morning my time, so my voice may be a little tired. Been trying to update all the funnels with videos and removing all the USI logos, and it's just, and I had to train up the VAs to do a lot of that work, but training them up takes a lot of time. So just a lot of stuff has to get done here in a really short period of time. So, I didn't prepare any slides for you or anything. I had hoped to have time to do that and organize my thoughts, but I feel like we just need to get this out. So I'm going to just record off the cuff. And forgive me if I have long pauses and start staring at the wall and drift off into space because I'm a little tired. But with that said, I'm going to introduce you to, I know some of you already are aware of this organization, Davor Coin. People call their coin DAV for short, so you hear me call it DAV. This is what I'm moving forward on right now. I'm going to be introducing the people that I'm going to be working with that want to, follow my lead on this, to a strategy that I think is much lower risk than how we were approaching USI. I've learned a great deal in the experience with USI about how some of the qualities that we look for, from like the old school MLM model, don't work here. For example, while we want integrity and long-term viability, it all sounds great, and that's what we're used to wanting. And while, of course, we still want integrity in the leadership of a company, um, companies led by personalities in this particular industry who are trying to develop with the old MLM model, I don't think that's the right approach, which was a total paradigm shift for me in the last 48, 72 hours as I really started to think about where, it went wrong with USI in terms of what's happened, and kind of taken us all by surprise, because the company, I know, had all the right intentions and were doing all the right things in every way, but because of that, they were, out there in the open, in the spotlight, building through events and just in the faces of, the really brutal, um, obtuse regulators. Not all regulators are as out of it as the Texas Securities Board is. Texas is famous for that kind of stuff, but there are a few that they don't want to see uh, average everyday people succeeding. We know this. I've done other videos on this. Like, you guys that have been in the industry a long time know this. And it's just going to set some of the people that are on power trips off. And USI didn't, when they were faced with this, we don't know what's going to happen exactly, but they obviously were afraid that they were going to have to, risk too much and just completely pulled out. I don't know if they're going to come back into the US or Canada. That's neither here nor there. My point is, by being in the spotlight, um, they got too much attention. And I'm not saying that Davor Coin won't get there, but the way that they've structured their compensation plan and not paying so many levels deep, it's more of an affiliate program, like a really elaborate MLM, um, kind of sided affiliate program, more than it is an organization that I think is going to be flying in the face of, really obtuse regulators that, don't know what's going on, that want to just, write cease and desist orders to anything that they don't understand. I don't think that's going to happen so quickly with this organization. And if it does, in a much more structured, video presentation that I'm going to put together for everybody later. Again, I just want to get this video out to you guys so you can move forward on this or not, to give you a chance to have people fall, underneath you instead of all ending up on my front level. Um, uh, when I have more time in the next day or two, I'm going to structure this much more clearly, and help people understand why I feel that even if that were to happen to this organization, why I still feel very safe about it. So, for example, if a regulator were in the United States, not so concerned about other countries right now, US or Canada, mostly US, were to come after this company, which again I think will be far less likely and much further out in the distance. But if it were to catch us by surprise and happen early, I feel very, very safe about us getting paid back what we put into it because of the capital they have. I don't think USI had their capitalization in order like Davor Coin does. Davor Coin launched their coin, their Dav coin first. usi-tech was trying to do that. And so usi-tech in many ways was underfunded. Um, I think they did an exceptional job, and I think they were highly funded and compared to the old school model. But in terms of this new world, I think they were a little underfunded. Um, and so they were really a higher risk situation than Davor Coin would be for us. Davor Coin's a brand new company, which is exciting. They're modeling Bitcoin, so it's exciting because it's early and the site's still underdeveloped in many ways as compared to the USI late site was. But it's exciting because even though they're brand new, and I think we're going to be able to talk in a minute about strategy and getting people from not just usi-tech that are looking for a new home, but a strategy also for getting a lot of people in BitConnect who are looking, I know they're looking at Davor Coin right now. A lot of them are jumping over, but many haven't yet. I know I'll be able to get tons of them with my funnel. But my point is, it's very similar to BitConnect. So it's exciting that Davor Coin is brand new and yet even has some advantages into its system that BitConnect doesn't have. It's basically the same thing though. So it's early. But my point is, they have launched their Dav coin and already have about a billion. That's with a B, $1 billion market cap. So what I'm trying to say is, with my very cloudy mind in the moment, is that when a regulator does knock on Davor Coin's door, it's less risky to us because they've got about $1 billion. And again, I know if they were to sell all the DAV, it wouldn't be a billion, but they've got hundreds of millions of dollars available to them for sure. And as the DAV goes up, which I believe it will over time, it might correct here short term, but long term, I'm certain it will kind of follow in the footsteps of BitConnect. They're going to have the resources to pay the people in the United States and Canada to make sure that they can continue business in the rest of the world, because obviously they need to pay us if they're going to continue business in the rest of the world. So I feel very secure with the fact that they've got about $1 billion, to cover those kinds of things that can come up and make sure that we're going to get paid if that does happen. And again, because of the way they're building this, it pays 5 levels deep. If you look at the comp plan, you'll see what I mean. I'm not going to go over all of that right now. I'll do that in a very, detailed, much more clear-minded presentation for everybody in a couple of days. But you'll, look at the comp plan, you see that it's more of like an elaborate affiliate program, but still pays 5 levels down. And I like how on the second level, by the way, it pays 4% instead of 3%, but it does pay less on the first level, 8% instead of 10%, and only 1% on the fourth and fifth level, 2% on the third. You can take a look at it. You'll see what I mean, but the whole feel of the company, of the organization, is very different in respects to, it's not the old school, model like USI was trying to do, which was really cool. That the USI wanted to be in the out there in the open, in the spotlight. But obviously, when push came to shove, they just ran with their tail between their legs, and probably for good reason. But out of the U.S. and Canada. What I'm saying is, I don't think Davor Coin is kind of flipping the bird at these regulators like USI was saying, hey, come and get us. We can take on the world. While that was really cool what USI was posturing themselves to do, obviously they couldn't follow through. I don't think Davor Coin is taking on the spotlight model, and therefore I think it's going to be much further out before a regulator knocks on the door. And when it does, what I'm saying is Davor Coin already is heavily funded because their coin, if we look at it, and by the way, not only do they have their own internal exchange already built, which is what USI is trying to do, but they're already on an external exchange as well, Coin Market Cap, and I believe they're going to pop up on 2 more. So they're already being traded outside of their own internal exchange. And check out what happened. Uh, it launched like a month, December 18th, and what was it priced at then? Looks like it was in the $20 range. I'm sure, and I know it was much lower. They had a pre-launch, and it was very, very a lot less than that early on. But when it went public, it was in the $20 range, and then it now just not even a month later, $82. And again, this might correct slightly. I don't really care. My point is, it's at 800 million market cap now. It's been as high, like earlier today, was at a billion. Even if it went in half, even if it dropped down to back down to 10, um, that would still be a huge amount of funds that they have access to. So that if a regulator did knock on their door and they did want to run out of the U.S. or Canada and just go serve the rest of the enlightened world of innovators, then you know they would still have the funds there to easily cover the U.S. and Canada payouts. Is what I'm saying. Right now, they're sitting on 800 million. If they were to sell their DAV, obviously, they wouldn't need anything close to that. I mean, so that's why I'm going with this company right now. Obviously, this is a very, I'm not going to say unpredictable industry. I'm actually kind of laying out here, and I'll do a much better job in a couple of days. But it's actually very predictable. Um, while there are surprises, like we don't know what might hit us, it's like we know Davor Coin's intentions will be to continue to grow their business outside the U.S. where regulation isn't so tight. We know that USI's intentions right now are to pay us and to make the tech coin succeed. Like we can kind of figure stuff out. But again, where USI had a weakness that I didn't really see now that I look at Davor Coin and where Davor Coin's really strong, is they already launched their coin and are sitting on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions. And in fact, earlier today, billion dollars. They're going to have the funding to cover us, as I was saying. And again, their model, because it's not because they're emphasizing paying much more in returns, and you can dig into that. You can poke around, but they're paying much higher in returns than USI was, and more straightforward too. You know how in USI you get paid your daily return, and then there was some confusion when you're first looking at it because you thought, well, when do you get your initial capital back? And it's like, oh, you found out with USI you never did. Like you just got your returns and then your packages ran out. I mean, those guys were geniuses, but they, on the marketing and so forth. Even I going into it thought it worked differently than it did. It was still great. But my point is with USI, the compensation plan was really the emphasis, and it drove the company to grow too fast. And again, they were using events, and it was their whole emphasis. And that's really what got them in trouble with the regulators, because they couldn't control the number of distributors that were out there blabbing their mouth however they wanted, making guaranteed return claims. It was insane. And there were so many of them, USI just threw their hands in the air. I don't think that's going to happen here, even though there's people making false claims, and even Davor Coin is making claims that really can be construed easily as a security. They're not doing like guaranteed claims and that kind of stuff. I mean, not like the two distributors in USI distributors in Texas were doing. That was just crazy what they were saying. But my point is, because they're not emphasizing the compensation plan so heavily, and they're not doing these events and so forth, there's not going to be this massive surge growth of these crazy promoters out there everywhere. It's going to be more contained. The emphasis is on paying high returns to those that lend the money. They call it lending. There's huge returns you get back, and you can look at that, where you actually do get your capital back. Like you get your higher returns than USI paid, and then when it expires and when it's done, you get the original capital back on top of it. So it's way higher payout than what USI did. But on the flip side, the compensation plan is not as fancy. What I'm saying is it's good enough. We learned our lesson. If the comp plan in this industry is too good and it drives too many promoters out there in the spotlight, blabbing their mouth, who don't know how to represent, you get the USI situation in the US. So across the board, I think this is safer. I'm going to be sharing lots of different strategies with people on how to make sure they get their initial capital back. Just a second, guys. This is the VA. I'm trying to get everyone's USI funnels straight and in order. I'm going to shift it all over to this. Do we have to notify? Um, hold on. Let's see. I'm not going to edit this video or whatever. Just give me 1 second. Can't even type. Can't see straight. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to create a very detailed, comprehensive video on all of this and lay it all out. You can wait for that, of course, before you decide if you want to actually move forward and invest in, I'm going to use the word invest because with Davor Coin, it doesn't freaking matter. Invest into this or to lend them the money. Um, you don't need to move forward on it now other than just registering if you want to make sure that you lock in, your key people. So, um, by the way, I know some people are listening to this that didn't meet the leadership qualifications. You're going to stumble across this. Like if I'm your personal referrer in USI, you can sign up into Davor Coin. You don't need to put money into it yet. Wait for my more comprehensive review of all this, but you can lock yourself in for free and start poking around. If you're a leader and you have a lot of people that you referred into usi-tech, I'm just putting this out there right now with my link to give you a chance to register in before I put this out there to everybody so you can get at least your front line, in place. Because this doesn't pay that deep, I don't think we're going to be able to, I'm not going to think beyond that. It only pays down 5 levels and only 1% on the 4th and 5th level. I'm just putting this out there, doing the best I can as fast as I can for leadership, for you guys to have an opportunity to just plug your top people into your front level. If you want to manage and orchestrate, administer people falling in line with a certain, structure of sponsorship, that's up to you. But honestly, I can't wait more than, I think, another 2 days at the most before I put this out, to everybody. So I'm going to be telling everybody in the thorough, detailed review of all this, hey, if I'm your front line, then register by all means. But if I'm not, I'm going to be breaking down the advantages of registering with the person who can support them best. If I've got 3,000 people in my front line, I can't support people very well. So I'll be making that point really clear. So I think people are going to be looking for signing up underneath, the person who can support them best and not just trying to sign up underneath me. But again, I wanted to give you guys time to sign up at the link if you wanted to move forward with it. You don't have to put any money into it or do anything with it. You start poking around, learning about it. And then you have your link that you could start putting your frontline people so they don't end up underneath me and, jumping on it. Because I do think a lot of people are going to be really excited about this once I've gotten some sleep. I've got a clear mind. I've created some slides and I break down why I think we can really minimize the risk on this significantly. Why? Because of their capitalization, I think we're really, really safe. The way they structure their comp plan, the way they pay more to people up front who lend, way more than USI did. All of this, I think I'll be able to break it down where people can be really, really excited to move forward with it. I just wanted to give you guys a chance to get some of your key people on your front line best I could. Okay, so I'm excited about it. I sold one of my rental properties last month, way before any of this was going to happen. I was going to buy more BTC packs and diamond packages, but what I ended up doing was dropping it in here. And I bought DAV. I haven't actually lended yet because I got to shoot a video showing myself do it, but I'm going to do that next. So I've got about 150 grand or something in here. It's everything I got. Um, I like to lay everything on the line. It's always worked really well for me. Even when I lose short term, if I keep rolling forward, I've noticed that I just learn faster and it just like stuff starts to stick and it snowballs. And so, I'm still thinking USI is going to pay everything on our packages. Tech Coin's going to come through. They have every reason to do that. And no reasons not to at this point that we're aware of. I know they're coming out with an announcement on Monday. Now I'm just going to throw everything that I have into this, and I'm just going to keep rolling. And I think 10 million or more can come out of USI in this from my efforts so far, and I think it can keep on rolling. I know not all of you have those kinds of goals, but I know some of you do. I just want you to understand my approach is very different from anybody else's I see doing this stuff. I roll forward. If I get knocked down, like I fall forward and I get back up. Like I see this as a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I mean this meaning cryptocurrency and particularly these programs. I think they're awesome. I would have never looked at Davor Coin before USI, but now this completely different understanding of everything and what's going on. Um, and it's just this, like for example, them having 800 million to $1 billion backing them up now, it's insane. Like it creates security in ways that I don't think people could ever comprehend before. It wasn't possible to set up models like this before. So it just, anyway, I'm really excited about it. I think I'm going to be able to get a lot of people really excited about it. And then I'm going to shift all of the funnels over to this. One thing I forgot to mention, I mentioned it, but I wanted to go deeper with you. Um, I think a lot of people in BitConnect, which this was really modeled after, I think they're going to switch over, and I want to create a funnel that everyone in our team can use um, to go directly after the BitConnect group, because it's exciting to be able to, BitConnect is at like $400 on their cryptocurrency. This is only at 80, and again, this might drop to 40 before it goes way higher, but I think this is going to mirror what BitConnect did. They've already built in features and tools that BitConnect doesn't have, like the rebuy feature and all kinds of things. So as confidence in this continues to build, I think it's just going to attract them over. So it's a really speedy way to build an incredible group of people that already understand what's going on, who've been making a lot of money, a lot of, already understand the Bitcoin world from BitConnect to sway them over. I'm going to create a funnel for them. Very, very easy to do. I'm going to create a funnel for USI people that are looking for a new home. I just think we're gonna be able to blow it up and really, really fast. How long is this crypto world and these kinds of programs gonna last? I don't know. But for reasons that I went over today, for reasons that I'll break down much, much more in a much more organized fashion in my next video for everybody, uh, I'll make that really, really clear. Hopefully I was coherent enough for you to pull together what in the heck I'm talking about. If I wasn't, then my recommendation still, so you don't lose a lot of people frontline to you, is sign up, and at least your key people, your favorite people, make sure that they have an opportunity to sign up. And you can share this video with them or not, or you can say, Mike was drunk, but yeah, I just didn't get any sleep because there's just so much to do, so much to study. I must have looked at over 100 different programs, and I was going to put off this video until I had time to make the more organized one. But then I thought, oh, you guys got to get this. I gotta push it out fast. So there you have it. So I'll give you the link, my link to Davor Coin. Register, it's free. Get your people in that are ready to move on it, and then I'll push out the more organized, comprehensive review of all this. Okay. All right, guys. Let's keep it rolling. I'll see you soon.